Good afternoon. I think I actually started just a second or two early this afternoon. That's not like me, but trying to pack and get everything ready because Nona and I are leaving on a jet plane real soon. So we're getting ready to go on one of our. We usually take 2 to 3 international trips a year, and this is one of them. We usually take at least one big one in the spring and another one in the fall. And this is our spring trip. So I'm going to tell you all about it and get your advice on what cards I should be using, things of that nature. So let's see who we got. According to my phone, there's like about 10 people in here already. So that's pretty good. Let's see. We have Juan Garcia, channel member and good friend. Good to have you, Juan. He says, "Good afternoon, Bob." Good afternoon to you, Juan. Great to have you in here. FLX New York, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you, FLX. Good to have you here. Thanks for being a channel member. Nuracan71, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to you. And K-State Nate, how's it going? It's going good, Nate. Hope it's going good for you. I've been frantically, I work a lot on Sundays, so I always try to squeeze this in the afternoon. But today was squeezing more than normal because we're leaving on our big trip coming up. So lots of packing. And let me tell you, it has taken me years to train Nona down to just a carry-on. So we don't travel with check bags. And the problem has been shoes. I don't know if any of y'all, the lady in your life, if she likes shoes as much as Nona, but trimming down the shoes has been the hard part. But I finally got her there, and sure enough, now the secret is leave some room in your bag for her an extra pair of shoes. Now, let me tell you, that might be the best tip you get from any YouTuber ever on travel. Keep room in your bag for some of her shoes and her stuff. That'll help. That'll help. All right, let's see who else. Thank you again, Nate. Ian is here. It says, hey, same boat for us. 2 big international trips per year. Already done with Japan. Australia is up next. Can't wait to hear where you're going. Yep, we're going. Free music. Good day, everyone. Good to have you here. Same with Ian. So let me see. We got 25 in here already watching. Back on track. Started just a little bit early. Might try to go 45 minutes or so, maybe an hour. We'll see. Because like I said, still packing and trying to get everything ready. But Jay Carlos, family of 4, 3 carry-ons, and 1 or 2 backpacks. Never check bags. 3 carry-ons with a 10 and a 6-year-old. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. You've got it down, Carlos. You've got it down. Rob Knopper Studio. Hello. Good to see you, Rob. Great to have you here. And Tillery73, channel member, says, hello, Bob. Hello, Tillery. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. All right. Let's see. One more has popped in. WW Phil. Hey, Phil. Channel member says, hey, Bob. Good to have you here. All right. So, I don't have any slides or anything today because, like I said, I've been frantically working to get ready for our big trip. And then Sundays are always busy for me anyway. So we've been working on all of that. And we leave out this week in fact, tomorrow to Europe. So we're leaving out from Memphis and we're going to be flying through New York. And just to kind of give you a basic itinerary, we're going to be going through New York City, flying into LaGuardia, flying out of JFK. We have about a 12-hour layover. And we debated whether we should go into the city and store our bags somewhere. There's those bounce bag storage and stuff like that. But to do that, we were going to have to take bags on the subway, and it was going to be, and, Nona, for her channel, by the way, her channel is Away Again Travel. She just posted something that I did for her in Guatemala, on Antigua, Guatemala. And we're going to have lots of content for her channel after this trip. So we should be doing a lot on this trip. But we've got that 12-hour layover, and Nona said that she'd kind of like to do some lounge reviews for her channel, stuff like that. So we're going to just kind of hang out at the LaGuardia for a while, and then we're going over to JFK and going to hang out until our flight. And this is what I'm most excited about. Well, not most excited. I got to be clear. There's a lot of fun things coming up on this. But we are moving. So this is what I found. When we were thinking about just going from, and you can ride the subway, but it's kind of a pain to get from you got to ride the bus and all of that first if you're going to go from LaGuardia over to JFK. So I looked into an Uber, and we've done Ubers before between those two airports. It's like $60, 55, $60. And so I thought, we haven't used any Black Lane credits on the Elite card yet. Let me check that out. So I did $144. So like I've said before, I don't count the Black Lane credits as part of my, effective annual fee for they're just extra, like just elevate your life extra. So that means that we're going to be riding in a Black Lane from one airport to the other, and it's about a 30-minute ride. And that is going to cost me $44. So that's how I kind of figure that Black Lane credit. And it's going to be a fun experience. And we're going to film that maybe for both channels, but for sure for her channel. So we're going to be doing that. Then we're going to hang out. Tell us what lounges you want us to go to. If you want us to do any footage of any lounges in JFK, we're going to go to lounges. We're going to especially go to the Emirates lounge. And then we're flying Emirates business class over to Milan on the A380. So, and we're in the back section of the business class upstairs. When I was watching some guys, particularly Nonstop Dan, I think he indicated those were the best seats in business class up there. So we're going to be doing that. And then we're going to go and spend some days in Milan. Going to take the Bernina Red train. Have you ever heard of that? That's a kind of a scenic old train up through the Alps. Going to be doing that. Going to go to Lake Como. We're staying in boutique hotels every time. And of course, Nona will be doing some different content of those boutique hotels. And then we're going to take a train to Zurich, spend some time in Zurich, go to the Lindt chocolate factory and all that. And then we'll be flying back Swiss business class the next week. So we've never done that one either. So we'll be doing reviews of that. So that's kind of what our trip looks like. Let me get back to some of the comments. We got 37 watching and 15 if hit the like button. So hit the like button if you haven't done that. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right. Let me see. Mike Newland. Hey, Mike, you jumping in? Great friend of the channel, great friend of a lot of channels. The amount of time you waste waiting for check bags is so worth not checking bags. Absolutely. I can't stand waiting for check bags. Even if you can get an extra 1,000 points from Delta on the deal. I mean, it's not worth it. I mean, I was hearing the freaking miler guys love to do that, but that's not worth it to me. Points Dexter, good afternoon to everybody. Hey, Points Dexter, good to have you. Travis, hey, my friend, how are you doing? Says, enjoy your trip. Looking forward to it. YouTube Experiment says, hey, Bop and friends. Good to see you, Experiment. Phil says, team carry on. Yeah, I mean, that's where we are. Let me tell you, it took a while. It took years to train Nona for that. But I think she would say she appreciates it. The other thing is that customs, so much quicker going through customs because you just go through the first part of customs and then you just walk straight through the whole baggage collection part and then just go through the end of it. And it's just a lot easier. Nuracan, Sapphire Lounge at LaGuardia is very nice. I think it's 22,000 square feet, really. Now, let me ask you this. To go into the Sapphire Lounge at LaGuardia, do I have to have a departing ticket or will my arrival ticket get us in there? Because we'll have a departing ticket at JFK, but we only have an arrival ticket at LaGuardia. So do you know the answer to that, Nurcan? YouTube Experiment, it's more than $44 because the tip, but yeah. It's more than $44 because of the tip. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, still though, probably be about the same as the Uber would be. And do you have any Blade credits? I think you can do LaGuardia JFK on Blade. $44 is a steal for that ride though. Yeah, we're quite excited about it. Mike Newland, what lounges are you able to use when you arrive at LGA? That's what I don't know. I don't know which one's alive or arrival. We have access to every lounge except United lounges. So we have access to, because of course we won't be able to do Delta because we're not flying Delta. But I know we could go into the American lounge there, but we have access because my Ritz-Carlton, the Sapphire lounges, we have access to American Express Centurion lounges, and she has access to Capital One lounges. So that's kind of, we can go to any, and of course, Priority Pass restaurants, all of that. So if anybody knows which ones will let us with an arrival ticket, that's really the question at LaGuardia. JFK, sky's the limit for us. Ian, personally, I would budget little time for the Emirates Lounge. Sapphire and Amex are much nicer. And don't forget about the hidden bar in the back of the Amex Lounge. All right. I have not been in the JFK Amex Lounge before. So been in a lot of the others, but I haven't been in that one. Is it in Terminal 4? I'll check on my Loungepedia app. If you don't have that, it's very helpful. It's called Loungepedia. So good app. Gentleman Explorer just flew back Emirates from Milan JFK. Boarding through the lounge was very cool. Oh, we get to board through the lounge? Nona, you out there?
Yeah.
Somebody just said that we get to board through the lounge at JFK.
Oh, really? We haven't done that yet.
We haven't done that. Or maybe you're meaning at Milan. I don't know. We're flying back out of Zurich, though. So if that's the case, we won't get that benefit. She was excited about that, though. All right, Ian, can you check out Capital One landing at LGA on arrival? I don't know that either. We're going to find out. We're going to try. Gentleman Explorer, Cap One Lounge at JFK is best in class. Okay, Capital One counts at JFK. Well, I'll see if she can get in there. We'll try it out. Gentleman Explorer, Ian, I'm very curious about Cap One landing as well. Chad's Money Minutes. Hey, Chad, good to have you here. Good to have you here. Chad's got a great channel. If you haven't watched him, man, he does not just fluff it up. He absolutely tells things factually as they are. Even if we slightly disagree on what's an upgrade and what isn't, no big deal. He's a great creator. So check out his channel. Jessica Wynn, hey, Rewards Master and everyone. How did you book the Swiss business class? Through Aeroplan or United? I booked it through Aeroplan, $70K. It was $70K. So it was a good redemption. Rob says Mets. Oops. See a Mets game. Oh, see a Mets game. Yeah, I guess we could have, but we've already got this all planned out. So it'll be good. It'll be good for content at least. Narakan, just departing for the Sapphire Lounge. Okay, so we won't be able to do that, but we are going through there on the way back too. So we will get to check it out one way or the other. Ian says you can do Sapphire on arrival. It's in Terminal B at LaGuardia and LGA, and I don't think it's connected airside. Okay, so we've got two opposing opinions on that. Nurakan says, nope, it's just departure. Ian says it's on arrival. Okay, well, I guess we're just going to have to find out. We'll let you know from experience. Nurakan says AA Lounge will let you in on arrival. Yeah, I know that. AA Lounges all let you in on arrival. Deltas do too, and I think Uniteds do too. Texas Dog says, howdy, y'all. Good to have you here, Texas Dog. Thank you for being a channel member. Ian says, I did not get to board in the lounge at JFK. I've done that A380 route. Gate could have changed, though. Did not get to board at JFK. Okay, so you were meaning out of Milan, then, whoever said that. That might have been you, Ian, that said that. Okay. All right. Mike. Good having you here. No tipping with backline, it's included. Yeah. So $44. It's a win. Chad says comfort plus forever, baby. All right, Chad. That's fine. I love Comfort Plus too. I don't think it's an upgrade, but I love it. I love it. All right. Luke's Points and Miles. I really like the Swiss throne seats. Oh, the throne seats. That's not business class? Is that like an upgrade above that, like their first class, Luke? I don't know. I've never flown them before, so this is going to be our first time. A tier, good to have you here. Says, I love the LGA lounges. Capital One Landing and Reserve are my favorite. Gentleman Explorer, boarding through the lounges in Milan only. Apologies. Okay, so that's Milan coming back. Well, we're coming back on a different airline through Zurich, so we won't be doing that. Dim says hello. Hey, Dim, I thought you weren't going to make it today because you were out of the country. Okay, glad to have you here. Emerson says flying Frontier, but have the Amex Platinum. Buy a Delta flight to Access Lounge and then cancel the flight right after. Thoughts?
For sure.
Well,
You did that.
I've heard of people doing that, but that's of course against their policies, but I've heard of people doing it. And the question is, can you cancel? Yeah, Nona says, yeah. All right, let's talk about that behind the paywall one of these days. Okay, so Dim, just here for a few minutes, 2:30 a.m. here. Oh no, man, Dim, now that's dedication. Hey Nona, Dim's here and it's 2:30 in the morning where he is. Now
Sounds like us.
that's pretty dedicated points and miles guy. That's pretty awesome. Ian says tip for EK, make sure you ask for a mattress pad. Okay, EK Emirates. ASAP. One time I was on a flight with them in business and they ran out. Still comfy without it. Okay, so Nona, we got to ask for a mattress pad.
On which flight?
On the
Emirates or-
EK, I'm guessing it's Emirates. So, okay. Yeah, we'll ask. Mike Newland, spicy. And Juan Garcia gifted one Rewards Master membership. Thank you, Juan. Appreciate that. And if you're blessed by that, please give a thanks to Juan Garcia for that. Dim, spicy. All right. So that's what we're doing. Now, here's my question. I'm having to, because I have an extensive wallet. So my wallet is broken down into 4 parts. If you watch my videos, you know this is true. I have what I call wallet cards. Those are spend cards. Those are cards I'm spending on a day-by-day basis. I have and that would be true, the ones I have in Apple Wallet and all that. Then I have, in addition to that, I have what I call my backpack wallet, and it's a separate wallet. I have my own AirTag on it and everything, and it basically stays in my backpack, and that is a benefits wallet. So what that gives us is I keep our platinum cards in there, both my business platinum, her personal platinum. That's so we can get into lounges. I keep other cards in there that have lounge access. I keep like our Hilton Aspire card because we're only going to use that card when we're going to resorts and things. So that's my backpack wallet. Then, in addition to that, I have what I just kind of call the desk drawer wallet. And those are things that we just use every now and again for specific purposes. Like we use the cards like the World of Hyatt card, but that one's kind of interesting on this trip, and I'll tell you why. But we use World of Hyatt card, IHG card, some of those, they have the free night cert. We might use those every now and again just for something specific. And then I have just the junk drawer cards. And those junk drawer cards are basically cards that I have that I've opened for a sign-up bonus, going to keep them a year till the sign-up, to the bonus, the annual fee post. Then I'm going to downgrade them or cancel them altogether. So that's the breakdown. Now, on this travel trip outside of the U.S., I was having trouble deciding what to use because right now in my wallet, I have 2 cards that I'm working on sign-up bonuses for, but both of them are Amex cards. So that means that in Europe, I'm not going to have near the receptivity for those cards. So not many places are going to take them. So I thought about just, taking the week and working on the sign-up bonuses for those. And then I thought about, used to when I would travel, my go-to cards were, you're going to be surprised by this with me, but the Chase Sapphire Preferred. And it's only because Chase, their cards, I got to give them this. I've never had a fraud alert problem. I've never had any issues overseas. They work great. And then Built 1.0 worked great for me. Never had any issues. What I'm thinking about on this is basically using the same wallet I use at home, with the exception of this: no custom cash cards, because my custom cash cards, of course, have a foreign transaction fee. Don't want to incur that. So and I'm not going to be driving there anyway. We'll be taking trains and stuff, but I'm thinking about using my City Prestige card for most of my dining. And if I have any charges at the hotels, I'll use it for that because that's 3x on that. Well, I guess the other card would be better maybe on that, but we'll talk about that in a second. I'm taking the Elite card, the Strata Elite card, and on the Strata Elite card, if we're eating, I'm going to try to keep track of when city nights are in Europe. Not sure, but we will. If I can figure that out, then we'll try to, on Friday and Saturday, to dine and use that to get the extra points. And then for everything else, I'm just thinking about sporting my Built Palladium card because right now I'm getting well over 3.5x on my Built Palladium card. And I've heard reports that some people have had problems with it overseas, but then I've heard others, and Dem's in here right now, and he's been using it, he said, in Asia, just like that, no problems at all. So I'm thinking about risking that one for sure, and kind of going from there. So tell me what y'all think about that as my basic setup, because that's going to give me 3.5x on everything, and it's going to give me 5x on dining or 6x on dining when those, at those specific times. So let me know what you think of what my plan is on our spending. Okay, Polygraph Zone got a channel membership and gives his thanks to Juan. Thank you, Juan, from Polygraph Zone and from me as well. That's awesome. Juan Garcia, enjoy. Rob says, what is the most cards, including personal and business, for you and player two that you've ever opened in one quarter? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Nona, how many cards have we gotten in one quarter? You have a guess? Like in 1 3-month period. I'm thinking maybe 5. I'm thinking about 5. Because certain times of the year, I have massive spend that I get reimbursed for. So I really push in the summer, particularly. I really try to get as many signups as I can at that time. So I think that's probably the most. And then we went a little crazy when Barclays starting approving people. And we both got as many Barclays cards as we could. So that's probably when that happened as well. Polygraph Zone, any thoughts on Black Lane being bought by Uber? I don't think it's even going to come into effect for about another year or more. And when that all shakes out, I don't know what Citi and Uber and all of them will do. I know American Express has kind of exclusivity with Uber, but surely when they purchase another one, if they keep them separate companies, probably nothing will change. If they merge them into each other, I don't know what that'll look like, but I'm sure it'll work out. Dim says, I've been using my Palladium for everything here. No issues at all. Are you tapping or are you using the chip? Which one are you doing? Or are you using your Apple Wallet? I guess that would be the question. Mike Newland, does the app tell you when city nights are? Yeah, I think it does. Let me see. I think it does. If I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me because it's Nona's card, so I don't look at the app all the time, but I believe that it does. SJDP, good to have you here. Channel member. In fact, not just a channel member, but a spreadsheet warrior. And he gifts 5 Rewards Master memberships. That's 5. So 5 of y'all are going to get a membership. Make sure to shout out your thanks. And I shout out my thanks as well. That's awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Gentleman Explorer. Used to build Palladium all over Italy, no problem. Amex was fine 90% of the time as well. Okay, built Palladium all over Italy, no problem. Did you tap or did you use the chip? Is there a trick to it? I just want to know. I want to do it the easiest way possible with the least chance of having a fraud alert problem. Juan Garcia, Bop, nice wallet setup for your Europe trip. So you like that? Good. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, why would I pick anything else? I get over 3%, 3x back with built with the best points in the game. Tied with thank you points, but still some of the best points in the game. So yeah, I mean, why would I do anything else as long as it's going to work? Dim, have my Prestige and CSE as backups and Platinum for the perks. Yeah, we're going to have our Platinum cards with us for the perks for sure. Trey Genda says thank you. He got one of the memberships. FLX says, I would not worry about the Strati Elite given you have the Prestige. I would just plan on using the Palladium, but then take as a backup. Yeah, now here's the deal. The Elite card is great as a backup card because I have used that one overseas, no problems at all. And I used it in Korea everywhere. And it's a 1.5x thank you point backup card. So yeah, I'll probably do that if I can't figure out. I won't give a lot of time to figuring that out. So, but yeah, that's a good suggestion. Dim, Summit as well. Yeah, I don't have the Summit. I'm still debating on whether I want to do it or not. I think it's really a great card, but 3x versus 3.5x. So that would be weighing it out. But yeah, see, I don't have as much use for Alaska their status because I have AA status, and where I live, I'm never going to fly Alaska Metal. So they just don't fly here. So that's kind of where I think it's an awesome card, though. I mean, awesome. So yeah, great. Emerson says, do Chase and Barclays allow business cards without having an actual business? I have 2 with Amex and 1 with B of A, but never got approved for a Chase. Well, Chase does for sure. I mean, it depends on what you mean by not having a business. I mean, you probably do have a business. I mean, honestly, anything you do to make extra money is legally a business. So, I mean, this is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer and I'm not an accountant. So everybody keep that clear. I'm just saying from my experience, if you drive for Uber sometimes, or if you sell stuff on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, there's lots of reasons. So Chase, yes. Barclays, I've never tried to mess with getting a Barclays business card because that just sounds like a nightmare to me. I mean, I've heard people talk about, isn't the Wyndham Earner Rewards, isn't that one of the business card that gives you 8x on gas? Isn't that one of Barclays? And I've just heard all sorts of crazy things about having to fax in stuff. And I mean, with a physical fax machine, not going to mess with that for sure. Free music. If you have an iPhone, you can set up a widget to show New York City time. Yeah, that's a great idea. And I do have an iPhone. I want to skip down here real quick, and then I'll come back up to Jessica's comment. Mike Newland gifted 10 Rewards Master memberships. Let me see. That's 16 memberships today. That takes me to the most memberships I've ever had. That is awesome. Thank you, Mike. You're always dependable supporter of the channel, and I appreciate it immensely. And I know several of you will get those. Make sure to thank Mike in the comments. Jessica, yes, Apple Display when City Nights is active. Great. Dim says Apple Pay and have tapped the card a few times, but mainly Apple Pay. Yes, the app tells you when City Night starts. Yep. Kristen Davis says, do you have more than one Aspire card? Nope. We have one, and we have a Ritz-Carlton card, and we're going to be working on it. That's the next one on our, I hate to use the term credit card roadmap, because what people usually mean by that is that, well, you start at a secured card and then you move up to a Chase Freedom card. And then that is not my life. So when I say credit card roadmap, that's what I'm meaning, is to build out the perfect wallet that has everything we need if we never got another card again. And on that roadmap, to use that silly term, that we have on our list of things we're going to acquire is a second Aspire card for our family in her name for sure. So, yep, that's part of the plan. Use the tap whenever possible over in Europe. Okay, tap to pay with the card. Got it. Yeah, Gentleman Explorer, Europe is nearly all tap to pay machines. Yeah, that's what I remembered. I mean, we've gone to Europe like 12 times in the last 3-4 years. So I should remember that, but it's like I wasn't thinking about it before because I wasn't concerned. I just really don't want to have my Bilt card shut down for several days because, man, I'm slamming that thing. So, yeah, thank you guys for reminding me. SJ says, thanks. That's what they are used to. Using the chip can lead to some weird issues. Signatures, unlikely. That's the advice I got from my brother who lives there ahead of our trip to see him. Okay, so I just want to tap for everything. Thank you, guys. That's what I'll do. Dim says Summit can give you 3.3x with a Bank of America account. Yeah, you get the 10% boost. There's also no Bank of America branches within 400 or 500 miles of me, so that's an issue too. Mike Newland, does the Summit card get you on the list for upgrades on flights like Delta cards do? I don't know. Dim would know that. Dim, answer that question if you don't mind. But as far as I know, no. I don't remember seeing that in the benefits. SJ says Summit card is a tiebreaker with the same status level for upgrades, but the card alone doesn't get you on the upgrade list. Okay, there's the answer. There is the answer. Mike Newland, and if any FHR stays on this trip? Nope, none on this. And let me tell you why. We're taking a group from church. I've been doing this the last couple of years, and we're going to lead some tours and stuff. And this group, they're paying for their hotels, and they wouldn't want to pay the prices of FHR. So we're trying to stay with them. So we just picked some what we thought were nice boutiques. So one of them we paid for The one in Milan we paid for with our $300 elite hotel credit. Another one we used the Globe Cards $100 with American Airlines hotels $100 credit. And the last one, I'm trying to remember what I used for the last one. I think for the last one I used, I might have a note on it. Let me see if I wrote myself a note on what I used on that. But I know I used one of our other credits. Let's see if I wrote it down. Oh, yeah. VentureX. So we used the VentureX $300 back on the other. So we're staying all those nights in Europe, and we got $300 back with the Elite card. We got $300 back with the VentureX card, and we got $100 back with the Globe AA hotels credit. So the splurge credit, they call it. So that's $700 back. And these hotels were about $150 a night, $170 a night, something like that, boutique hotels. But I will tell you, in Europe, some of our favorite stays. Nona, you remember that Athens 21 in Athens, Greece? That was one of our favorite hotels we've ever stayed in. It's just a little boutique hotel with like 25 rooms. But man, it had a view of the Parthenon from the top that was to die for at night. And we've had some great boutique hotel stays. So we're going to do a few videos. We'll put them over on Away Again Travels. Mushu Pork, Wyndham Business was a ridiculous app for me, but I use it for the business utilities. My power company charges $9.99 per transaction, so can't use the GCs. Also good because there aren't limits per quarter. Okay, but it was a difficult app. It's difficult to get, is what I think you're saying, but it's worked out good. NN3, good to have you here. Hi, thanks for all the info. Any issues using your Ritz-Carlton travel credit for using it for award flight taxes and fees? So tempted. Do you think it's worth and pays back? Okay. This is the time when I tell y'all I was wrong about something, because it does happen. And I was wrong about the Ritz-Carlton card. I did a video maybe 8 months ago, 10 months ago, when everybody's talking about when VentureX was changing their lounge access. And now they're like, well, the only lounge card to get now is VentureX. And I thought it was a little overrated at the time, because Sapphire lounges weren't built out yet. You know, they've been building those rapidly. But now that I have it, I really like it. Now, not as an earner. Don't put any money on this card. But I've used it for my taxes and fees for award flights. And I called them, and I'm telling you, it's crazy. The other day we were filming, me and Travis were filming some new stuff for the channels, his channel and my channel. And I was telling him that the Ritz-Carlton has the best customer service ever imaginable. And I say that as a person who's got the Prestige card, great customer service, Elite card, American Express Platinum, great customer service. And I proved it to him. I just picked up my phone and I dialed the number. I hit call, and we counted. 10 seconds later, a human being answered. 10 seconds. Not a menu that I clicked through to get to a human being. A human being answered. So I love the customer service on that thing. And yes, I just called. It was a 2-minute conversation. They applied it. I think it's actually even allowed to do taxes and fees on it, but at least I haven't had any problem with it. So I hope that answers your question. And then Dim says, you can just tap your iPhone now. No need to take your cards out, even at dinner. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I have it in my Apple Wallet, so that would work really well. Let me see how many are in here. No, we got 70 people watching, and 20 have hit the like button. That's not a lot out of 70. So if y'all don't mind, hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, of course, do that. Dem says, I just parked $500 in a savings account, since that's the minimum for no fees with B of A. Don't bank there either. Okay, well, that would work. I could, when I'm traveling, I could find a branch and do that, I guess, or do it online. Johnny Jones says, hey, I'm pre-approved for the Palladium. Have to make a decision soon, but I wanted to get the City Elite to complete my 3 custom cash lineup with City. Should I delay City and go for the Palladium? Well, here's the question. Do you already have a way to transfer out those points? If you already have like a Premier card or something, well, I guess that's the only other option you'd have, unless you had the old Prestige. Then I'm telling you, the Palladium, I'm going to do a video soon on the Palladium card. And I really think, and it may not last. I mean, we don't know, I think some of us on here are hopeful that it will. But as it sits right now, I've been doing credit cards for a long, long time. I'm not one of these YouTubers that will say, well, I've been doing credit cards since 2020 or whatever. And that's fine. I think they gained a lot of knowledge in that time. But I've been doing them since, well, my American Express card says 1992, I think, on it. And so I've been doing cards for a long, long time. And I think that the Built Palladium card is the greatest credit card that I've ever had. And that includes, I love my Prestige card, but it includes my Prestige card. It is an amazing credit card, in my opinion. Now, others can have a different opinion, but that's how I see it. That's how I see it. Mike Newland says, as much as I like to play them, I would go with City First because they're inquiry sensitive. That is a good point. They are very inquiry sensitive. But I guess that my thing would be like, I would want to get the Palladium when I can get the Palladium, because it's just so good. So it's like you're having to weigh it out. Emerson says, can I product change a United Quest into a second Freedom Flex? Amazing channel. I follow all your videos. Man, that means the world to me. Thank you so much. I don't believe so. I don't think that Chase will allow you to product change from one product family to a different product family. So Freedom Flex is a UR earning card. United Quest is a United card. I think you could product change to any other United card, but not across card families, is the way I understand it. Damn, I would do both on the same day, City First. Hey, there's an idea. Dim gives $4.99. Thank you, Dim. I appreciate that very, very much. Great supporter of the channel. I mean, I hope you didn't just give that because you're so tired at 2:45 in the morning where you are, but I do appreciate it very, very much. All right. Emerson says, is applying for multiple cards at the same time? I guess you're asking, can you do that? People do it all the time. But Dim said, Dim's advice was do the City first and then the other. So, all right. Let me, hold on. Last question, I promise, LOL. Is applying for different cards at the same time a good idea? Well, I haven't ever done it at the same time, but I've done it back-to-back days. But I've heard a lot of people doing that. And, I guess miles may vary. So Dim laughs. He must have been awake and sober enough. So Kristen says, do you recommend in general player 2 get the Obsidian card? I'm weighing that out. For us, in fact, I was talking to Nona about that yesterday because for us, it could be very useful at Walmart. Very, very useful at Walmart because, you can get the 3X plus the boost and get 4X at Walmart. And the way I understand it, it works at Walmart. But I'm getting mixed stories. Mike Newland, who I trust so much, said in the last live I did that it didn't work on Walmart online. And that's a problem because we order our groceries that way. And that's the bulk of that spend. So, I think there can be a situation where it works out very well. Mike says, I'm looking for an upgrade to away travel for this channel. And that is an upgrade. Ask Nona. Did you hear that one? Mike said he's looking to upgrade to Away Again Travels from Rewards Master. And that is an upgrade. I will agree with you, Mike. That is an upgrade. That is an upgrade. And then Dim says, touchy subject these days, Mike. Now, that's one I don't mind if you upgrade to Away Again Travels. Now, Mike Newland, we have both. It's great. Dim says, upgrade sensitivity is a thing. Yep, that's true. Yeah, we will try not to get into that too much. Okay, Mike Newland says, smiley space, and spicy for sure. All right, well, that's kind of what I had for this afternoon. I wanted to tell you all about our upcoming trip. And now I do want to say this. I'm planning to do at least once a day. And I don't know if we can do it on Nona's channel because I don't know if she has enough subscribers. Y'all could fix that, though. If everybody got on and we got 500 subscribers by tomorrow, she could probably upload directly from her phone. But YouTube's kind of touchy about that, about when you can do that and when you can't. but at least I'm going to try to upgrade some members only videos. And because there's so many, I think everybody in here is a member now because so many were gifted today. Just kind of every day I'll do some kind of update. So we might do it from the Black Lane, or we might do it from the lounge chairs, the massage chairs, or we might do it from a Priority Pass restaurant in JFK, or we might do it as we've got on the plane before the Emirates business class takes off. I don't know what we'll do, but we're going to do something to kind of make it a fun, together type thing. So please be staying tuned for that. If you haven't went to Away Again Travels and subscribed, it'll make Nona happy. And when Nona's happy, Bop is really happy. So if you would, by the way, it was her birthday this week. And so she, and I kind of forgot it for a little bit. So I'm in hot water anyway. So y'all could help me by subscribing to Away Again Travels. That would probably, smooth out the mood a little bit, But thank y'all all for being here. Free music says, I still haven't figured out how to allow receipt of gift memberships. Receipt of gift membership. I don't know. Somebody real quick before we end, you have any idea of how he does that? I don't have any problem getting them. So it's got to be in your settings, your YouTube settings. Not sure though. Dim says, happy birthday, Nona. Happy birthday, Nona. Mike Newland, it's a setting in your profile. There's your answer. So you go in your profile and setting. Nona says, don't think that will work. Hey, if you get 500 subscribers, that ain't going to work. I mean, Tulare, happy belated birthday, Nona. Thank you, Dim. She says, you're one step closer than Bop. She says, maybe. I'll get her on that business class in that Black Lane. She's going to be plenty happy. So, Oscar, just subscribe to Nona. Hey, you got one. So, Way Again says, thank you to Larry. And Mike Newland, it's an upgrade for sure. Happy birthday. And happy belated birthday, Nona, from a YouTube experiment. All right, going back through here. Dem gave $4.99. Thank you, Dem. Appreciate that very, very much. Mike Newland, in Mike Newland fashion, gifted 10 Rewards Master memberships. SJ gifted 5 Rewards Master memberships. Juan gifted a Rewards Master membership. And I think that's what we had today. So thank y'all all so much for that. And like I said, we will be keeping you all updated. Juan said, happy birthday, Nona. Enjoy your trip. And FLX New York said, already subscribed to Away Again Travel. Thank y'all very much. All right, we will see you here. We'll be posting updates as we go. I'll try to do a live at some point when I can squeeze it in. So it might be weird hours, but I'm going to do the best I can. But I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. You're the best community on earth. And I will see you here next time.